jumping on that into the community. And I was like, yeah, this has to be it. It's because I see the progression being in this community. I mean, it's been a little over 90 days, but I can honestly say that I have learned a lot more in these last 30 days than I have in the past year or two that I've actually been diving deep into cybersecurity.
And yeah, you always have access to me. So anytime you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm more than willing to help you guys and, making sure that you're not feeling stuck. In this interview, you hear firsthand what it's like to be inside the MyDFIR SOC community. So if you've ever wondered what it's really like, this video is for you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's video. Today, I am joined with Apryl, who is a member of the MyDFIR SOC community. Today, she's going to be sharing all of her experience and also the experience within the community itself. So, Apryl, if you could introduce yourself, what's your background like, and what got you interested in cybersecurity?
Hi, my name is Apryl. Yeah, my background is I've been in the IT field overall for a little over 20 years, maybe. I've done everything from a hardware printer technician to desktop support, desktop engineering, VIP, executive support. I've even touched a little bit on network engineering. I was like playing an active role for a network engineer. I did that long enough to build some experience. I did monitoring and reporting for DISA for their servers overseas in the PACAF area. What else? Man, it's an extensive list. I've touched a little bit on SAN, like the storage administration, and that's pretty much where I'm at now. Right now, I am a backup system administrator for DISA and joint staff. So I basically do a lot of backup and disaster recovery for all of their big data. And just being in the IT field for so long, I feel like cybersecurity is the part that I haven't touched on yet.
Mm.
So, a couple of years back, I was deployed and I was like, I think I want to get a couple of more certs because being in the Air Force, they are very big on education. And especially when we're deployed, we have time on our hands. And so they open up a lot of training centers in the deployed areas we are at, to where we get free training and, we do certifications and degrees and stuff like that online. So I had decided to try to self-study back in 2019. I'd self-studied for a couple of certs and I failed every single one of them because the self-studying it wasn't enough time. I didn't give
Mm.
myself enough time. So then I kept kept going at it, and I was like, man, I really want to get into cybersecurity, but I didn't really know how.
Right.
And it wasn't as easy and as much resources on the right path to do it at the time. So I was just doing my own thing, watching videos, and that's how I landed up on your YouTube page. And I've been following a lot of your YouTube videos for a very long time. And just watching your videos and continue to watch your videos and trying to follow along and trying to act like I understood what was happening, but I really didn't. Once I started watching your videos, I started pivoting into other cybersecurity YouTubers and started going on LinkedIn and talking to the security managers and other people in like the security realm at my jobs and listening to a lot of people saying, oh, you need to network, you need to network, you need to start talking to people that's actually in the field. I started doing that, but I felt like it wasn't really getting me anywhere. Um, I was like, well, maybe I need to start back on honing on getting certs. And so on my second deployment, I decided to go for the CompTIA CISA because I had already had CompTIA certs, mainly the Security Plus. I was like, well, let me try to start doing some cybersecurity certifications, see if that will get my foot in the door. Just listening to like YouTubers and other people talk about how, oh, all you need is these certs to get to this path. And so I started listening to that and trying to get into obtaining these certs. And again, I failed that cert. And, I was like, well, when I get back home, I'm going to maybe have to take a training course to get to that cert or do like a boot camp to
Mm.
actually get to that cert because I'm more of a visual learner. I have to actually see it and then follow it. And so once I got back home, I started searching for like classes that will actually just give that cert, but I wasn't finding like a particular class for that cert. A lot of these classes, they were programs where I don't know, you take this program, like the program I ended up in, it was like a 7-month program with my computer career, and it was pretty easy because they took my GI Bill, so it was easy to get started into it. And um they gave me the good story of all of these nice certs that they were offering. And I was like, yeah, the cert that I wanted was in the mix of that boot camp course that they had going on. So I got into it, and I mean, it was great. I definitely learned a lot. They offered the course that I was taking, they offered like 6 certifications
Oh.
within 7 months, and I obtained 3 out of the 6. I do plan on going back for the other 3, but I told myself I want to get in the field first before I go back for those other 3 certs because I feel like they're not needed to get my foot in the door, but I feel like I do want to go back and obtain them because I didn't get them the first time. I think that's
Mm.
just my personality. But so I did obtain 3 of the 6 certs, and I feel good about it. And I think I was in maybe like month 5. It was like month 5 or 6 when you started your course. And I was like, man, I really was interested because just listening to you talk about it and following I was following your YouTube videos and knowing that I was learning a lot from your YouTube videos, I really trusted in your course. And I was like, man, I really wish I could take that, but I didn't have the time because I worked 2 full-time jobs outside of the military on the civilian side, and working 2 full-time jobs and taking these courses, being in this boot camp. It was real time consuming. And I think I even reached out to you about it. I believe I messaged you. You sent me the roadmap. You sent me the interview questions, and
Okay. Yeah.
you sent me like a couple of things, and you told
Yeah.
me to let you know when I was done with the boot camp. And so once I was done with the boot camp, I was like, okay, I'm still gonna follow you, still try to see how I can get into that course. But I was like, you know what, I'm a little drained, so I think I'm just gonna fall back a little and just continue to follow you and try to grasp as much as I can and do all my self-studying and continue pushing. But then you introduced the community, and I was like, I just got to jump on this now. So jumping on into the community, and I was like, yeah, this has to be it.
Yeah.
So, I thank God for you introducing the community because, it's been a little over 30 days now, I believe, going through the community and being open. I haven't been that open with the daily accountabilities you have us doing. I really like that because it keeps me on my toes every day,
Yeah.
and it keeps me grinding. And the accelerator program in itself, it keeps me grinding every day. It don't give me an opportunity to fail myself, I guess, for lack of better words, like let myself off the hook is basically
Mm.
what I'm thinking. So, going through the daily accountabilities, I have to get on there, and I'm like, okay, I need to make sure I post my accountability for today. So I have to go through, the accelerator and go through the day, and like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and sit down, spend the time to go through this training and then post my accountability. So that I'm very grateful for that. Going through the other trainings, I haven't did any of the 30-day training. I did start the Active Directory one, but I
Yep.
kind of I'm gonna get back to it. I had to stop doing that one because I was running into issues with VirtualBox. For some reason, I don't know, the version of VirtualBox that I'm using, it was giving me all types of issues. So I switched over to VMware, and I had to rebuild my whole lab all over
Mm.
again. So I kind of paused on the Active Directory project, but I did go through some of the other projects. I was clicking through a lot of the um, of the little sections you have, just seeing what else is there that I can get my hands into. So I'm definitely building that confidence, just going through a lot of the walkthroughs and the trainings and the videos, and it's good. I don't feel overwhelmed. I feel like, this is where I should be, and this is
Awesome.
going to get me to where I want to be, that end goal of being a SOC analyst. So this community will definitely get me in that.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you so much for sharing that. Speaking about SOC analyst, was security operations always the area that caught your interest?
No, so I fell into the statistics of getting caught up in pen testing.
Mm.
Pen testing, pen testing seems like that's where everybody want to start at until you start digging in and you're like, okay, there are other areas that, might be a little bit more interesting than pen testing. Although I still want to do pen testing, but I think the deeper I get into the community and the deeper I'm learning certain things, like I've been taking your advice and attacking the MITRE attack and learning the different tactics and trying to click through and read through the techniques and the sub techniques and how to do all of that and how to correlate it with, the different incidents that we're working, stuff like that. So that's my focus right now. Pen testing, yes, it's still on the back burner, but I've been reading a little bit more about the purple team.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so the purple team, I kind of feel like it will get me on the lines of pen testing because it's a little bit of blue team and red team mix.
Yeah.
So I've been doing my research and, I got to start somewhere. So I'm trying to stay focused in the SOC. And I feel like starting with the SOC, once I start climbing the ladder of SOC and incident response and forensics, that will definitely get me to the purple team / pen test. And so, yeah, that's where I started. But right now, the SOC is my focus.
Gotcha, gotcha. I'm happy to hear that you were thinking about pen testing because with the community, we do have the opportunity eventually to actually start attacking the boxes that we have. That way, it's a
Absolutely.
win-win scenario for the defenders and also for you to upskill in the red teaming side of things.
Mhm.
And yeah, we can start building detections, doing some forensics, and yeah, just learning about the different kind of tactics and techniques that adversary could do. So
Okay.
yeah, you have that opportunity inside the community. Just let me know whenever you want to do it, and I'll give you access to go and play around.
Sweet, sweet.
Quick question for you. When
Yes.
you saw the community, what was your expectations like prior to joining?
When I saw the community, I honestly didn't have an expectation, only because I was also a part of another internship program at the time. But the internship program that I was a part of, it was wide range, meaning the owner of it, he was promoting or is promoting a whole lot of different things. Like he was promoting AWS cloud, he was promoting SOC stuff, he was promoting pen testing, he was promoting GRC. So
Mm,
the internship program, whatever you were interested in, that was part of the program he had you, deep dive into. The issue I had with that one is when I deployed, I didn't have the time to commit to what he had going on. So I was like, well, I need something a little bit more slow pace. And I thought, I'm glad I did see the community because I was like, yes, this is a little bit more slow pace, what I need at the moment while I'm deployed. So when I first saw the community, I didn't really have like any type of high expectations except for this is more my pace for right now.
would you say it is quite on pace? You can do it
It
at your own
is.
pace, kind of thing. Yeah.
It definitely is on pace. I like the fact that although you let us play around in the different things you have going on within the community, you still stay engaged on what we're doing in the community. You got your very much hands on. Being in the military, I mean, being hands on and, being down in the trenches with everybody else it's a real thing.
Yeah.
And I think that you are definitely on point with that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We did talk a little bit about the 90-day SOC Accelerator program. I would love to hear your thoughts on that particular program. I believe you're on around day 30, day 30
35.
to 40. Yeah.
So the SOC Accelerator, it is definitely a challenge for me personally. Reason being, like I was saying before, it definitely keeps me on my toes and it allows me to stay engaged. It allows me to stay motivated and want to keep up. I can't let myself off the hook. So keeping up with the accelerator program and knowing what the end goal is something that I'm working towards. So yes, I keep myself accountable along with the community, keeping, everybody keeping everybody accountable. And it keeps my mind stayed on what is happening, what I need to do, what I'm learning, teaching me how to take notes because I'm honestly not a real note taker. So the constant take notes, keep a timeline. That is definitely a thing with me.
Yeah.
So the 90-day accelerator program is definitely making me take notes and write down my thoughts and learn, along the way. So it's
Yeah.
it's it's definitely very awesome for lack of better words. But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it. Every day I'm looking forward to what the next day is, what the next thing is I'm going to be learning. Although sometimes I do cheat and I try to I go ahead like one or two lessons. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely enjoying it.
Nice. Nice. I love to hear that. How is this program different from the boot camp that you attended?
This program is so the difference is the boot camp that I attended was certification led. So we were basically, it was like each certification was probably about 2 or 3 weeks long. So the certifications that were being offered was the CompTIA CISA Plus, the EC Council CEH, the CompTIA CASP, which is now Security X, the Nexus First Responder Cert. I forgot the whole cert is called. The Cisco Cyber Ops and Cisco CCNA Security. So every couple of weeks we were hopping to another certification. So the difference I would say is because they were certification led, I was learning different things. I was jumping to different things every couple of weeks. So this community is more focused on SOC related and basically practical hands-on skills.
Hmm.
Whereas we did have hands-on skills in the boot camp, but because it was a boot camp, I didn't have that time to take my time and
Yeah.
play around in the labs. So if it was something that I didn't understand, if we were already on the next lesson, I couldn't go to the instructor and say, "Hey, can we go over this again?" Because we had
Yeah.
already jumped to something else. It is definitely different.
Okay.
Definitely different.
Yeah. So speaking about hands-on experience, specifically for this community here, we do have a SOC simulator with that has Microsoft Sentinel and also Splunk. And you did have the opportunity to play around within the SOC simulator, tackling our capture the flag scenario as well. So I want to just hear a little bit about your thoughts on the simulator itself and also your capture the flag experience.
So the simulator itself, it was a challenge for me. It was definitely a challenge that I enjoyed, I could say. Although I didn't know too much about Sentinel before I came into the community dealing with the SOC simulator. I touched on it a little bit because I had did a home lab following another cybersecurity YouTuber where we built a honeypot
Mm,
using Sentinel. And so, but I didn't have a full understanding because I was following along. So I didn't really dive deep into the different tables and Sentinel and, how to do your KQLs and stuff like that. So I didn't really learn any of that until I started playing around in the simulator. And also talking to, I think like my first or second week within the community, I had a show and tell type of call with Mo. I don't know if you
mm,
remember that, but
yeah.
Yeah, and he, he showed me some things within Sentinel that, yeah, I did grasp a lot. Him sharing a lot of his knowledge helped me a lot as well. So when I went to tackle the CTF, I knew a lot because of what I learned from within the community itself and playing around with the SOC simulator and also learning what Mo had gave me. So the CTF, it was a challenge, although this was my first one. I have signed up for CTFs before, but I never really dug deep into them. Like, I think one I did, it was like from Sentinel 1.
Hmm.
I think I gave up after the first level. But this was definitely a challenge that I was willing to go through. It took me a while to actually get in the groove, but once I got in the groove, I knew what was being asked and what was needed, but I still need a lot more training or learning on the investigation parts. And I think I had messaged you about that as well.
Yeah, yeah, and also the entire 90-day program does touch on that too. So,
Yes,
yeah, once
yes.
you start getting into day 60s, even day like 70s, that's when we go really deep into it. And yeah, you always have access to me. So anytime you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm more than willing to help you guys and, making sure that you're not feeling stuck, right? Because if you're introduced a new tool, it can get very overwhelming. Right?
Yeah,
Especially if you haven't used Sentinel or even Splunk before, then it's like, whoa, I don't even know what to do. And then when you try to start querying and then trying to develop that investigative mindset, it's just a lot of work to do. So yeah, anytime you have questions, please let me know.
will do.
So I have one last question for you, and that is,
Okay.
if you could describe your journey in one word, what would it be and why?
Describe my journey in one word. Progress.
Progress.
Why progress is my one word is because I see the progression being in this community. I mean, it's been a little over 90 days, but I can honestly say that I have learned a lot more in these last 30 days than I have in the past year or two that I've actually been diving deep into cybersecurity. So, progress, that is my word.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, April, for joining and sharing your experience with all of us. Honestly, it's been such a great talk and just hearing your journey throughout. With 20 years in IT and slowly jumping into cybersecurity, yeah, I'm all here for it. The community is backed. It's behind you. And anytime you have questions, again, please don't hesitate.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you. If you are someone who is serious about becoming a SOC analyst, but you don't know where to start or how to get real experience, that is exactly why I built the MyDFIR SOC community. Inside, you will get access to the 90-day SOC Accelerator program, weekly mentorship, challenges, and hands-on training with real SIM tools like Microsoft Sentinel and Splunk. You can learn more about the community by clicking on the link in the description or head over to school.com/MyDFIR. Remember to stay curious and do things differently.